What's the worst thing you've ever bought? Laser remover hair.
Check subscription.
Shock pen.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, see, not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Wait, what did you say? Laser what?
I meant to say laser hair removal, but...
What did you say?
I said laser removal hair.
Laser removal.
Like, wait, laser hair removal?
So it was
okay.
it was like this machine that
Like
came
waxing, but with a laser.
No, not at all. You know, like how they have like these laser like salons, like they have like laser hair removal. You'll hear about radios and stuff, and like it's a long-term treatment where like you go in and they like go ahead and laser it, and it's supposed to be going forever, like forever. So there was this machine that came out when I was a teenager, and it was like $600. I wasn't making any type of money to buy something like this, but I told my dad that the Eid money that I saved from when I was 7 to when I was 12, I had like $800 in my account. And I was like, Dad, use that to buy me my laser hair removal. And he was like, okay, fine. And so I
said okay.
bought it. It was my money, and like and also he thought it was a good investment. Don't comment on that. Don't comment on that. He just was like, okay, fine. Like if that's
were you like a grizzly bear? He was like,
no, but
right,
like I was his only daughter, and he didn't know like
Oh,
you know like he was like, oh, like is that something that's good?
Did your mom
her?
co-sign it?
My mom will co-sign things that I want to do because it's an experience for me and she wants me to live my best life. And so then I bought it, and it was the worst thing in the world, wasted $600. But I checked that same account, and my dad actually never spent $1 of that money.
Dang.
Yeah, I recently checked it, and I was like,
wait, so what did it do? Did it burn you? Did it hurt? Did it not
like
work?
if you take like a rubber band and you pull it back and like you let it go and it snaps it goes like that. And it really didn't make a difference at all. Maybe it's because I didn't like use it like a lot like I was supposed to, but at the same time, like there's a reason why you need to go to a salon and use like a high like voltage laser, not just like a handheld one.
But I feel like if you're paying that much, you should get something good.
Yeah, but this is when it wasn't properly developed.
I think it's
either.
not
Like,
made for brown girls.
it's so here's the thing. You have to have light skin and dark hair. And
Actually?
that's the best combination. Yeah. So if you have lighter skin you have, and the darker hair color you have is the best combination. So
That's crazy.
Wow.
yeah. But
All right,
SHAH-AMEER, Chegg was a great investment. What are you talking about?
Let me tell you why it was bad for me.
Uh-huh.
So in the engineering field, if you don't understand how to do your homework, you're going to fail everything. So
Right.
I was doing my homework, like 100%, all that, but I wasn't actually learning anything.
Is it because you were getting all your answers off Chegg?
Because I was getting all my answers off Chegg. And so then like I was
you
always
pay for it?
Yeah, you
I paid for it too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great investment.
That is
for
how
most-
I passed my stats class, baby.
For most
Like,
fields, that is a great
What the
investment.
heck?
But for me, I just didn't learn anything. I did all my homeworks, but when it
I
came
got a
to
3.9 GPA that semester with that Chegg account. I'm just saying.
also, I didn't know how I came up with that in like 5 seconds. So that was weird.
Good for you. Yeah. You've been
That's
having
good.
great answers. Why a shock pen? I feel like that is your humor.
I bought a shock pen in high school, no, middle school. I forget when, but
Like on accident, like you didn't know it was a shock.
no, I knew it was a shock pen. But, it was a great investment at first, but then the amount of trouble I got in with it was not fun because I brought it to school, and first, like where the teacher takes the class roll, I replaced his pen with a shock pen, and he like freaked out because he got shocked, and then he's like, whose is this? Like,
You
tell
did
me
this to
right
a
now.
teacher?
Yeah, I did it to a few
How
teachers.
did you
but,
oh my gosh.
but then this is
Did
where
they
it
like
gets
laugh
actually,
it off? Like
not at all. They wanted to know who it was. My friends knew it was me. They were like low key, and I was like scared. I was like, oh my God. And then it just gave me like more of a thrill. And then I wanted to do it to the next one, see what happens. Eventually my friends started like passing it around and stuff. This is where the story gets really sad. They ended up shocking someone who was like in special needs. And
That's so sad.
And I got like, I was called to the principal's office, and they explained to me like, okay, like you are bringing a weapon to school. And I was like, a weapon? What? No. And then like my mom was called in and stuff. And then like, but it was good because, my mom, like whenever I used to get in trouble, it would always be her that like I would give their number to and stuff. And then she would be more scared to tell my dad than, than actually, like she was more scared for me than actually wanting to tell my dad and stuff. And so I always got out of it, but I just like, I thought that was like not cool. And I was like, man, that sucks. So it ended up being a not cool investment at the end, but cool one in the beginning. So I apologized to the girl, and yeah, she was fine. Everything was okay. They were able to laugh it off. So
we all had really bad investments, but a good investment is to tune into an episode of Strange Flavors.
Wow.
Bam.
My name is Shimmer.
I'm FARAS.
I'm Amber.
And this is brought to you by Alif Theory. This is the strangest and greatest podcast in the game. If you want to email us or send us your music, your wonderful music, any genre of all sizes and
Of all
countries.
sizes.
I don't know. Countries, geographical locations, instruments, any music whatsoever, email it. strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com.
If you can play the theme song like Avatar.
Oh.
You know the one
I thought you were going to say the Strange Flavors theme song.
Sure.
Yo.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, guys. Our theme song slaps. Like, come on. But I was gonna say the song. You know the, doon doon doon, like when Appa's flying and everything's chill. That song. If you can play something like that, I would love to put that in an episode.
Yeah, just as a cool transition, and yeah,
it would be
awesome.
Hot. Yeah.
Awesome. If you want to let your friends know where you can listen to this podcast, guys, it's everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. And if you want to see my wonderful background, today I am where?
You've really stepped up your game, because this is fire. It looks like you're actually in a coffee shop.
I'm in a coffee shop, guys. There's
a lady on the phone behind you. She's actually calling the police, saying there's a brown man distracting everyone, doing an entire podcast while I'm over here trying to work.
And there's like garbage trucks in the background. You have
Get him, Karen.
Get him, Karen.
So you have to watch this whole podcast so that we can pay for the legal fees that I'm about to face. Yes.
You know what another good investment is?
What?
Checking out ronopono.com on July 1st.
Oh my gosh. June 1st, ronopono.com.
July.
You got called out in the comments last time too.
Guys, I'm forgetting its own special date. I can't remember. But my wonderful co-hosts, they finally remember this time, because last time they did not remind me.
Yes, but true. I got you.
We failed you as a co-host.
These guys failed me.
I apologize.
Guys, I want to ask you guys, what do you guys like to put on your bagels?
I like, well, on the bagel or inside the bagel?
On the bagel.
As long as it's from Bobber Bagel, I don't mind. Is that what
I want egg and veggie cream cheese on either sesame or everything bagel.
An everything bagel.
I love happiness on my bagel. And I get that from our executive producer, Bobber's Bagels.
Wow.
Our executive producer, Bobber's Bagels, has supported this podcast. And you can also be an executive producer of this podcast and sustain future episodes by just checking out the link in the bio.
And supporting this podcast.
Yes.
I hope that, when Bobber gets asked the question that Amber asked in the beginning of this podcast, he does not mention Strange Flavors as a bad investment. I hope that every penny that Bobber's Bagels has put into this podcast is worth it, because we love him.
We love him. And we hope at your wedding, you play this whole slideshow of us introducing you on all.
I don't know what we're gonna do when we get another person supporting this podcast.
Yeah,
Bobber's been holding it down, but we're never gonna forget him.
Yeah,
we're gonna continue to let him shine.
Yeah,
and who knows, if you become an executive producer, we might give you a more amazing intro. Who knows?
Wow, or not
Bobber,
more. Whoa,
not more. Don't.
Not more.
Oh God, Bobber just pulled out.
Bobber pulled out. Oh God,
I just got a call.
Bobber, please don't pull out. No,
I just got a call that Bobber is reconsidering.
Bobber.
He wants to renegotiate the contract.
Oh no.
We've lost the Starbucks shop that Shimmer just invested in.
But if you want to take his place and also be known as the executive producer at the beginning of this podcast, go ahead and support this podcast in the link below. Thank you.
Yes.
Shamir,
and just a reminder, Oh, sorry. I was like dying from the investments. Loss of investments. Yeah, but just reminder, July 1st, ronaldpollen.com. It's going to be huge. We really want you to see what's on there. A lot of stuff is coming.
Big things coming, guys. Big things coming. Stay tuned. It's going to be worth it. Listen, we have somebody on here that sets a great example of intent and mindset and all of that. So I want to introduce this guest on topic here. The stranger today is a popular face on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram who often shares the spotlight with his larger-than-life mother, aka Mamaji. Along with getting his start on YouTube, we talked to him about balancing law school with his creative endeavors, his flip-the-switch mentality, and a whole lot more. So without further ado, everyone please welcome Wajeeh West. Yo, be honest, did you dress up for this? Did you dress up for us?
Bro, I kid you not. I wish I dressed up, but realistically, my mom literally she wanted to go on a drive. I don't get it. She's been stuck at home one now. She's like, let's go on a drive, put you up there, this and that. Come with me, come with us, come with me. So I hurried up, put on whatever, and I went with them. And that's why I said I'm gonna be a little late because then I just got back and then I hurried up and then set.
That's so sweet.
Right.
Wait, where'd you want to go on a drive to?
Bro, literally, ocean dick now. I want to see the ocean. I go take like literally. It's
man.
The fact that you can go see the ocean though, like, on a
How
drive.
close is it?
Yeah,
all I can see is a field.
SoCal living. It's SoCal living. Wait, where are you guys at?
We're in Maryland.
Just all across
Maryland?
Maryland.
Opposite side, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did I think Toronto for some reason?
A lot of people
some
think
people-
Toronto. Some people think Texas. Some people.
Yeah.
What the heck? Maryland, that's whack. I'm sorry.
What?
Oh dang!
I don't know. Are we starting? Are we gonna start?
Wait, have you ever been?
Yeah. Have you ever been to Baltimore?
Bro.
No, don't say Baltimore. Have you ever been to Maryland?
DMV.
Yeah, I've been to DMV. Yeah, I've been to DMV.
Where?
Where in DMV, bro? Was it? I honestly don't remember. Name
Damn,
some
that's
stuff.
so wacky. Doesn't
You
remember.
went-
No, I've been
went
to
to-
DC. No. So
You
I've
went
been
to
to
DC
DC.
museums or something.
Bro. I went to DC. Yes, I've been to DC, and then outside of DC is like Virginia, right?
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've been in Virginia. Then where's Maryland close to like DC?
Like
It's right.
You have to go
Yeah.
north. You went
Yeah.
you went south.
So I've probably been in Maryland, but it was probably like a drive. I don't know. I don't think it was legit like proper checking it out.
Come
but
back-
I've been
come
proper
back.
DC.
so.
Come back,
How
we'll
have
show
you
you
never
around.
been here and then called it whack? I just want to know where the audacity
Bro, it's whack
came
because
from.
look, I just know it's like a forest. Like y'all, like it's legit like a forest and trees. Like I don't know how you guys do it. Dead ass the winters. You know what? Let's get started on it.
This is
This is it.
This is
this
it.
is
we
the
started?
Cali.
Oh, shit, what's
This is
going
the
on? Yeah, we
Cali.
started,
This is
man.
the Cali privilege right here.
Yeah, it's Cali privilege.
I don't
talking
blame
right
you.
now,
I don't
ladies
blame you
and
because I feel like if you're from California, then you're allowed to talk that way.
Because it's
But-
super beautiful.
Spoiled.
It's
But
like
listen,
amazing.
every place has its own beauty, right? Like
You're right.
we've
getting deep. Yeah, shit.
Listen
Throw
to
out a
me.
Rumi quote right now.
listen to me, bro. There's you ever seen snow?
Of course, man. Come on. See, look. Let me tell you this. I'll let you finish, but hold on. California has everything. You
No,
know what I'm
I know,
saying?
I know.
California. If you want to go see snow, we go up to Big Bear. If you want to lake, ocean, anything like literally, we have it all.
Have
we
you
just don't have.
have you ever
seasons. We
shoveled
don't
the
have seasons.
snow? You ever held a shovel and get it off your driveway?
No.
Do you
You
make
know
a
the
snow
feeling.
angel? Did you make a snow angel?
Not in California, no.
Dang.
Not in
So there's
California.
experiences you're missing too. Okay, we might not be able to see an ocean, but at least we made a snow angel.
Yeah.
No, but
See,
listen,
if you
tell
guys
us.
wanna go to, if you want to go for a drive, what do you do?
Oh, there's
Yeah,
tons of
Taco
places
Bell.
to drive.
Oh dang!
We
I
have-
said Taco Bell.
We have mountains, we have beaches, we
Okay.
have the foresty
beaches do
areas
we
we talk
have?
about.
So let me tell you,
Ocean
is it hella
City.
dark? Is it hella dark?
You know we don't
when
go
you
to
guys
Ocean
drive and
City
shit?
like that.
You might not go.
Ross, you don't go to Ocean City like that either.
Why not?
Because it's ocean shitty.
Virginia Beach, Ocean City,
No,
like
see, exactly.
Okay, I will admit it's not as nice as the Cali stuff.
Of
but we
course.
have it.
It's
We
not.
have it.
It's not
We have it.
comparable. Like
It's not. You don't compare it. We're spoiled. California people are legit spoiled by the weather, by everything. I
okay.
kid
Well,
you not.
tell us this: what's it like as a brown boy growing up in California? Because I feel like there's a different sort of. Mostly people come
Bro.
like our parents and immigrants typically usually it seems like they come to like the East Coast. They go to Texas, maybe Canada.
Yeah.
They take the
Chicago.
Canadian
Yeah.
route. What was it like
New
growing up
York.
in Cali?
I'm gonna take you guys back to when my parents met. All right, y'all ready? So,
Wow.
we going back. We going back. So
Mama G
literally,
and Papa G.
Mama
do
G
they
and Papa
approve
G, bro.
this?
So Papa G came to in the city that we live in. LA, whatever, in LA, right? It's a small. We live in like a small town within LA. There's like multiple cities within LA. So my dad came. He landed, got off the airport, and he just stayed in that little small area in that small town. Okay. Then my mom came by herself, like independent. She wasn't married. Usually that doesn't happen. She came to America. She just wanted to leave. She came to America.
What?
That's where she met my dad in that small town, right? So it's a crazy
unheard
story.
of.
So it's unheard of. So then they met while they were here through mutual friends. They got married, obviously, and then we're growing up in the same city where they met and all that. And that's all to say, bro. The city that we grew up in, it's all goated low, bro. It's all white. There's no brown people it's so different from the East Coast and Midwest. It's so different, bro. Because LA is so spread out, where all the Muslim local population, this and that, you gotta, everybody's spread out and sporadic. You gotta drive places, you gotta drive that, but it's not like centralized the way New York is. It's not centralized the way Chicago or Maryland and whatnot. So there's a community, but it's just hard to like have a tight knit community because everything's just so spread out. And literally in high school, me and my brother are the only like brown Pakistanis that I know of. Pakistanis and probably like another Muslim maybe. So like 3 Muslims all together in our high school. So it's a different experience, but honestly, it was good. I felt like it was good.
Did you ever like try to associate with, like white people or anything? Did you have to find your identity eventually?
I became a Gora, man. I kid you not. I was like, listen.
It's okay, bro. We've been there.
We've all
That's
been
what's
there.
crazy, bro. That's what's crazy. Okay, I grew up literally. All my friends were all white, this and that. Like no brown friends at this point, right? So I was just growing up in like a white culture, middle school, elementary school, even high school. The only like they see that we would get is like a little bit sprinkles of it here and here, and then within our home, obviously. And then it wasn't until college, right? When you go off to college, that's when you get more of like people coming in. Like you're more exposed to like Desi communities, Muslim communities, like PSAs, MSAs, and all that stuff. And that's when I started getting more like, I was always into the culture, but like I didn't embrace it as much until I was surrounded with the same, like, you know what I mean, with your same setting. Yeah. And that's when I just like that's when I started liking Desi girls, this and that, brown girl. Before, bro,
It's just
I don't know how much we can get into this, but before, man, just like literally I was only exposed to white girls, and that's the only type of girls that I was like, and then now at college, that's when I was exposed to a whole new world.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You're a man of many tastes. It's okay. But
flavors,
recently,
you know what I mean?
Hey, there's a shout out. No, but recently you've kind of over the last few years you've had a noticeable internet presence and definitely been more popular amongst our communities. So how have you received all of that so far? How are you taking that in?
No, I think it's dope, bro. Whenever like it's honestly humbling. Like me, like you guys were in school, and I'm in school. Like literally, this was just something that I was just doing for fun, like a creative passion, right? And then I didn't expect it to what it became. But literally, it's always dope. Whenever we go like to different cities or we go to different states, if I go to New York, Maryland, DC, whatever it is, right? Pull up.
No,
like,
don't say that. Don't say that. just DC.
Okay, wherever we pull up, like a lot of brown, like it's mostly brown people, right? So then they'll come up and say what's up. They'll like say, oh, Wajeeh, this and that. So it's honestly dope. They show a lot of love, and then it's more so humbling when like they just bro, we all live the same lives. We all relate. Our moms are the same way. So literally, it's like the moms and aunties are like watching us too, and like watching my mom, and like, oh, that's exactly how I act. So it's honestly it's humbling, bro. It's honestly
how does your mom
dope.
take that in? Like, is she cool with the attention and all that?
And does she get recognized?
Oh, Mama G always gets recognized. Mama G is a fan favorite. Y'all should know this. Mama G, bro, dude, she takes it to a whole nother level, yo. Like she loves it. She loves being a part of this, which is alhamdulillah for having like a supportive mom who like just wants to be a part of this. And she's more of like a drama boss. She's more of like a actor and actress than all of us combined. So she just kills it.
Was it weird for her at first, or was she just like in it?
Bro, she's natural. Like this is her. This is literally her. Like this is all natural to her. But our route was a little different because we had friends within YouTube, so it's like that kind of opened our eyes to it. So it's just like it's different, bro. We were first exposed to like something so much bigger to like having like something small. You know what I mean? It's just a different route. I feel like.
Does she take selfies with fans?
All the time. Mama G loves it. She starts going on live. She'll do everything on her own, man. She kills it.
That's awesome. No, speaking of like your YouTube friends, I think the first time that I ever saw you was through FouseyTube. You and your brother Ahmed were both on that. And so how did you, were you always on YouTube, or did you get your start through that channel, or what happened?
Yeah, I just thought someone literally walked behind you, but it was like a live background. I was like, wait, hold on.
Sorry
I
if
was
it's
like,
too distracting, but
no, it's fine. No, so yeah, obviously, so before in high school, like whatnot, I was always into production, always in camera work, being behind. Like I think we did like our prom video, I did like our back to school video, so that type of stuff, being in front of the camera. Always loved that. But then exposed through YouTube was through like friends like FusiTube, Yusuf, through Kaish, and then at that time Kaish was there, so like we all just became friends. First my brother met them, then I got into it, so just making videos with them, and then that kind of, I feel like, opened the door, like more so like being with Yusuf, being with Kaish, and just like seeing how dope and fun it was. And my brother and I were just always doing it, we're always there, so I was like, all right, let's just try it on ourselves, and that's what it became.
That's crazy. Like seeing you like make different types of channels and content throughout the years. Like, it's so cool seeing how you navigate it. Like, I know when you were in law school, you didn't post as much. You posted a few vlogs here and there. But, like, TikTok started blowing up, and it seemed like you easily, like, managed through that and, like, gained, you know, some notoriety more.
No, but it's hard. There's so many platforms that are coming out. Like, with school, man, it's hectic. I know you guys are creatives. First, hold on, let me just say, y'all, like, I've seen you guys' stuff. You guys are killing it. Like, in terms of, like, brown people, like the music videos that you guys do, like, it's next level production, dude. The type of stuff you guys do, I honestly love it. You guys are like hella creative. That's why I love that, right?
Thank you so
much.
Just
seeing that is dope. But you guys know how hard it is, like trying to find the time to do it all. Like, amount of work that goes into it, the amount of work filming, the amount of work editing, the amount of work just even thinking of it. It's unreal, right? So it's just so hard with school, but just whatever opportunity that I got, I was always just try and make videos or just have fun with it, to be honest.
So why didn't you like do like a filmmaking, you know, like as your major or whatever, like as a
career?
Man, Mama G, bro. No, so honestly, I was always tunnel vision to like law school, right? So it was always like, even before, like when I graduated high school, I was like, okay, I'm going to law school. First of all,
did you have an interest in it? You're saying your mom?
Exactly. I was just gonna tell you right now. That shit was like embedded within our heads from the very beginning.
As soon as you're born.
But as soon as, literally, and my mom, because like I would argue a lot with her and like talk back. As you can see, I talk a lot. And when I talk back, bro, she would always say, "Oh, mera beta lawyer banega. My beta is gonna go into law, this and that." And I'm like, so that was just stuck with me, right? So that was my track from the beginning. And then whatever came along with it, filmmaking, passion, this and that. Like, even though it was a passion, but I always knew my track was law school, and I was just gonna keep going with
Are you gonna find a way to like do something in between the two, or like incorporate that into the law, or that side of law, like entertainment? Like, what's your plan with that?
That's what I'm trying to do. So like, I have an interest in like within entertainment and like producing and whatnot. So the only type of law that I want to do is like entertainment law. So like, whether it be like with talent side, whether it be production companies, producers, movies, or anything like that, content creation, like that's the type of law that I want to do for sure. So that's how I feel like I'm gonna find a balance and incorporate it.
I think that just having you as a person who's in law school but also doing something like that is super relatable to the people that are watching you, because, you know, a lot of the people that are brown that are pretty big on these platforms just do that. So to have somebody who's kind of they can look up to that is doing similar things to them, that's probably super relatable to them.
Yeah, I never thought about it like that, but it's dope.
And you've did like vlogs like through your day in law school and stuff.
Yeah,
and
you know, that's when I actually really started following you more, and I was like, I really like the content that he's posting, because you were being really just authentic and stuff. I think at the time, you know, there was a lot of, YouTube was in a weird place where they were battling other platforms and stuff, and I think the YouTubers were kind of following these patterns of like, all right, we do pranks now, okay, we do this now, we do that now, and sometimes it felt like, I don't know if everybody is being authentic to who they are and stuff. But then when you first started posting those videos of you know, going through law school, it really showed who Wajeeh is, and you sort of built your own base out of that. So that was really cool seeing.
And it's also cool because, like, especially in a culture today, it like 9 to 5s and like those jobs are kind of seen as like bad, and like it's supposed to be entrepreneurial, but you kind of showed like a cool twist inside to it. Like, okay, it's still cool. You know?
But honestly, we get so caught up at like, I was even caught up with the whole trend stuff, bro. Like, being a content creator, like, even you guys probably understand, like, you guys get so caught up with the whole trends. Oh, I gotta do these pranks. Oh, this is in right now, let me do this. Oh, let me start some beef, let me try and like shout, let me create some drama. Like, bro, you can get so caught up in that, because at the end of the day, like, you let views and numbers try and infiltrate your head, right? And then you lose track of like, why are you even doing this to begin with? What is it your motive is to even begin with? So like with me, like, because I was like I did let like try numbers that get in my head, or I like try and like trends like infuse and embed in my head. But honestly, it was like my whole idea from the beginning was, let me just have fun with it. Let me just show my side. Let me show how we're living in America. Let me show how crazy my mom is. I'm going to school. So my thing was always just like, just be myself, like you said, authentic self. But oftentimes I slipped up and caught in the trends. I think that just happens. It's normal to understand, just like kind of snap back into it.
I think that's also why people respect you a lot, is that, you know, on our side, as you say, Maryland doesn't have a lot going on here, so we don't have many options when it comes to like, you know, YouTube friends and that and all that. Yeah. Right. When you're in LA, I'm sure, you know, there's a lot of distractions there. So how do you stay focused? What's the motto that you use all the time?
Flip the switch, bro.
Flip the switch. Literally. How do you flip the switch whenever you want to, with the distractions around you?
It's just, bro, it's hard, like you said, just so many distractions. But main thing is just like having a goal in your head. Like with me, it was like, oh, I want to get into the X school, right? So I knew like, this is what I want to achieve. I want to do this. I'm gonna inshallah be able to do it.
And but that was Duke for you?
For me, it was honestly a top 14, like, which is like the category of law schools. So my dream was actually UCLA, which we can probably, I have like a whole story of like how that happened and how like I like went into the admissions office. Like that's crazy too. I'll
go into it
real quick. But basically the whole flip the switch thing, bro, was just like, I was, bro, in high school, essay, like standardized tests, I think of a Desi the mock, like our, like this shit doesn't work. Like when it comes to standardized tests, maybe you guys killed it, I don't know. But for me, when it came to SATs and whatnot, like literally, I literally sucked. When
bro,
it came
I never
to
took my SATs.
Bro, like when it comes to standardized tests, because we don't grow up reading, we don't have like the privileges and stuff like that these go-to people do in resources or whatever it may be. Like my parents, they came from Pakistan, like not super educated, you know what I mean? It's not like they just came for like to give us a better life, like they always say, right? So it's like we didn't grow up in an environment where we're like fostered around education like that, so we're not going to standardize thinking. The way our brain works is not going to be able to like pick up quickly on these type of things.
We're like hard workers.
Exactly, literally, we're hard workers. So that's what it was with me. Like
I don't know about that though. Like our communities do like
doctors,
excel in
engineering.
Education.
I feel like I can relate to you more because my parents didn't come super educated. It was more so like the hustle for them. So I totally get that.
I think it depends, bro. It just depends on where you come from, like background, where your parents are. Like obviously, if you're like now for me, right? If now that I'm educated, inshallah, like my kids, I'm gonna expect them obviously to not do as bad as I did, because I'm gonna give them the environment where they're gonna be like studious. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna create that environment just by me being around them, being around me, who's like has a degree or whatnot. Like it just changes things. You know
and
what I
you
mean?
know
So
how
it
to
really
help
depends.
them in the future.
100%. Like, bro, no one taught me how to apply. Like, I didn't know how to apply to law school. I didn't know how to apply to, like,
that makes sense.
Like little things like that. You just don't know. You don't know how to go about studying for the SATs or the LSAT. Like, you just don't know how to go about these things. But obviously, like now, inshallah, when I have kids, like I know the whole process. I've been through this whole American school system, so it's different now. You know what I mean? So
yeah, we look at our siblings a lot.
On your own.
A lot of people look at their older siblings to like they had to figure it out, and then they tell you about it.
Yeah.
And still kind of foreign to you, but yeah.
Yeah, so like my brother, like he was the first one. He's 2 years older than me, so he went through it all, and then I learned from him, and now my sister's kind of like learning from us. So it's just like siblings, but parents can only like help you so much at a certain point. You know what I mean? But okay, what were we talking about?
So you said the flip the switch thing.
Where did you go into an admissions office or something?
Oh, okay. So let me say you guys. So the whole flip the switch thing comes into play because I was coming back to it. The whole standardized test, bro. I'm not the type that's going to be able to. It's not going to click with me, right? I'm not the type who's going to be able to like sit down and take a standardized test and kill it. So with me, like I know I'm going to be able to put in that hard work. I know I'm going to put my head down through the course of the year and grind it out and like get A's, get whatever I can to get into whatever schools that I want to get into. And then when it came to the LSAT, same thing, bro. I my numbers, like I had the GPA. I had the GPA for all like the top schools I want to get into. I had the GPA, but my LSAT is what pushed me back again. Like I had the extracurricular, bro. I had the stories. I had the numbers. At the end of the day, you have to have the numbers to even be looked at, right? That's what I tell everybody. If you don't have the numbers is what matters first. So I had all the numbers except for the LSAT. So that's why I got into like a tier 2 school, right? So I got in like a tier 2 school. And then even then I just wasn't, even though it was dope, but I wasn't like satisfied, right? I just wasn't fully like, I was like, I can do better. So then I started the whole another process of transferring again. You guys know about transferring, right? So then that whole process started. I was like, then it's even harder now. Once you're already in law school, you can only transfer out of your first year. And that process is even harder. You got to be in like the top 10% of your class. Like it's unreal. And the first year of law school is literally the hardest thing ever, right? So I was like, you know what? Damn, everybody's telling me I won't be able to do it. Everybody's telling me, like, you got to be in the top 10. Your LSAT is indicative of, like, how you're going to perform in law school. So all these people telling me all this type of stuff. I was like, you know what? I know how I am. I know I'm going to put my hard work. I'm going to get down to it. I'm going to put my head down. I'm going to have, like, yeah, I'll have fun here and there. But at the end of the day, like, I know my goal. So that's what I was able to do first year. And then, alhamdulillah, like, I applied again to the schools, like, the top 14 that I wanted to. And then that time, it all worked out. But now let me tell you guys about the story about the whole UCLA admissions. So basically, I applied, like, I wanted to stay within LA, low-key. UCLA was my dream school for law school. I went to USC for undergrad, but for law school, it was UCLA because, like, connections that I had from before and whatnot, and the programs that they had, and because of entertainment. But basically, I heard back from USC first, right? I heard back on my birthday, literally not too long ago. So I heard back from USC, oh, you're admitted. I was like, oh, shit. Like, it was it was on Jummah. It was one of the best feelings ever, right? I kid you not, it was one of the best feelings ever. And then I was like, okay, cool, hold up. I really want UCLA, right? So I was like, all right, let me see what I can do. Let me think of how I can take it to the, like, an extra step further, right? To see if I can get this admission, because this is what I want. So literally that, like, next week, following Monday, I was at my internship at, like, a law firm, right? So I at my lunch break, it was not too far from Westwood where UCLA is, right? So I was at my internship. I was like, you know what? Let me just pull up to the admissions office. Let me go ahead and just walk in. Let me see if I can talk to the director of admissions, like, dead ass, straight up. I was like, shoot. So, like, legit, right? No one's gonna do this. Everybody's just gonna wait for, I'm just gonna wait for this admissions to come out, this and that. So I was just like, bro, I gotta make this happen. Like,
let me speak to the manager. Let me speak to the manager.
Literally, bro. So I'm on lunch break. I was in a suit already, right? I was already, like, fitted up because of my internship, right? So I was like, you know what? Let me just pull up. I went to the front desk, right? I pulled up to the front admissions office. There's obviously, like, a student usually working in the front. I walked into her. I was like, hi, can I speak to the director of admissions, please? And she's looking at me like, wait, hold up, like who are you? Why? Like, what's going on? This and that, right? She's like, what the heck? And then I explained my situation. I was like, oh, okay, I just got into USC, but honestly, my dream is UCLA Law School because I already went to USC for undergrad, this and that. She said, okay, hold on, let me see if she's here, right? So then I'm waiting for like 5 minutes, and then she's going back and then talking to the director. And so now get this. So now the director comes out, and her face was like all red, like hella uncomfortable. She was just like, because it's like, bro, who does this? Who comes in and who's just gonna straight up ask to see, like, who does this type of stuff, right? So I can tell she was uncomfortable. She wasn't in, like, she was just in casual clothes. I can tell she was uncomfortable, right? And then I straight up talked to her. I let her know the situation. She comes out. She said, how can I help you? This and that. And I straight up told her the situation. I was like, you know what? I just got into USC, but I really, really want to go to UCLA. For X amount of reasons. And then she said, okay, you know what? Email me this, and then I'll get back to you. Okay.
Wow.
So then I went back to my office. Right. I went back to my internship. Back to the office. I emailed her. I was like, hey, I just came in. Wajeeh, I just came in. Explaining my situation. I get a email back within a couple hours saying, are you available for an interview tomorrow? I was like, bet. Say no more. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Right. I was like, yeah, sure, I'm available. Right. Literally the next day, I have an interview with her. I have an interview with the assistant dean, like the other two people in the admissions office. I had an interview with them, talked to her, and then talked to the other two people, and then did the interview. And then literally 15, 20 minutes later, the dean calls me up. He's like, oh, I just want to congratulate you, acceptance, this and that. You're going to officially get your...
That's crazy.
Bro,
this guy.
That moment for me, I was just, it was honestly surreal. It was honestly surreal. Like, and that's
you
what I'm saying.
did
Like,
more than manifest that.
Bro, legit. And I took like that little extra step. Even though it probably made it uncomfortable, I just showed the initiative. Like, bro, like, I want this really badly. Like, I'm going to, like, why send you an email? Let me pull up to your office. Let me see if I can speak to you directly. And then after that, we can get an email communication. Had an interview, gave me a call. Boom.
That's incredible. Like, Does this happen recently?
This is last year.
This is last year.
Around this time.
Everyone go to Harvard and do the same thing.
You said that you were already suited up. Do you think like a lot of it had to do with your like presentation too? Because you're saying that she was dressed casually, that you're dressed up like.
Bro, honestly, presentation has a lot to do with everything. Like, if you just look professional, if you just look like you're like, even though you're nothing, bro, at the end of the day, if you're wearing a suit, you just get treated differently. You know what I mean? It's like little things like that. Like, you're gonna get treated like you walk around. they'll think of you as like, okay, this guy's serious, as opposed to me just walking around in shorts or like sweats or whatnot. Like it's a complete different ballgame.
You felt it.
I don't know
that
if how. Honestly, and then like I just made it happen, right? And then I just did the interview, and then I told her like all the reasons why I want to go here and like all this type of stuff. And then I got that call, and I was just, bro, I was stoked. But then I didn't end up choosing you shit. I didn't end up choosing, bro. I was okay. Let's go, bro. So then, literally, I accepted. So I accepted right away. I was like, okay, cool. I'm in. I accepted. I submitted my $1,000. They give $1,000 deposit. I put that in. Literally, like, I put that in. And then classes. So then a week later, I'm starting getting all these emails for counselors, pick your classes, do all this type of stuff. So I started picking my classes. I started like, there's a whole process called on-campus interviews for law school where like law firms come and interview you. So I started bidding for these firms that were going to come to UCLA. I was in an interview with them and all this type of stuff. Literally, I was in deep, right? Duke comes later, 2 weeks later. And they're like, oh, you got accepted. I'm like, wait, what the hell am I going to do now? Literally, I had no clue.
And
Literally,
so that was even like more what you wanted than that.
So here's the thing, man. No, I wanted UCLA. I wanted UCLA more. I applied to Duke. So Duke was higher ranked. Duke was like top 10. UCLA was like, even though it wasn't that much far off, but with law schools, bro, it's like this whole idea of rankings, it's as much as it sucks, it exists, right? As much as it sucks, it exists. And like that can change a lot of things. It changes a lot for you, right? My supervising attorney at that time, my internship, he's the one who told me to apply to Duke. I didn't even it wasn't even like a consideration for me. My dream was UCLA, right? Or New York, but New York didn't work out. But then literally he told me to apply and I was like, okay, cool, I'll apply. When I checked to go and apply to Duke, the deadline had passed. So I was like, oh, I gave the admissions a call. I was like, hey, can I still submit an application? Right? And she's like, yeah, well, you can still submit it. Cool, whatever. So like, that's another thing, whoever's listening, like take it that step further. Like, yo, if you see, yeah, the deadline has passed, why not? Let me just give them a call. Let me just see if they're going to take this application still, right? What's that going to hurt? Like, don't just stop. Once you hit a roadblock, right? You hit a roadblock, you see the deadline's passed, don't just stop there. Try and make things happen. Try and make it work. So literally, I gave them a call. I was like, can I still apply? She's like, yeah, go for it. So then I applied to Duke after the deadline. They got back to me after I already accepted UCLA 2 weeks later, after I was already in deep, after I already gave my deposit. And then I only had that weekend to decide, to commit. So I only had 2 days and then that's when I made my videos of me going and telling Mama G. Mama G started crying because she was like, she was scared something happened to me because I was freaking out. It was crazy. But
that's incredible, dude. How did they react?
Yeah. My mom was just straight up. The way I told her, it came off wrong because as soon as I found out about Duke, I was like, you know what, I have to tell her about this. So, bro, I was supposed to surprise her with UCLA, like, yo, I'm staying in LA. Like, bro, she's like attached to me, right? Like, bro, mom,
are you the favorite son?
Attached. I mean, that's what my siblings say. My siblings say that I am.
It's okay, I am too. I'm the middle child. It's the
you're the middle
child.
See, I don't get it. Why the middle child? Like,
I
usually
feel like
supposed to be the opposite.
my brother, the middle child, is also the favorite child.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened. Usually they're neglected, but anyway, so I was supposed to surprise mom. I was gonna make a whole video, bro. I was gonna go blindfold her. I was gonna take her to the steps to UCLA. I was like, I'm staying in LA, right? Straight up, it was like a full-on reveal type thing. That didn't end up happening because I had to make a decision about Duke. So when I told her about that, I was like, sit down, I need to tell you something. She started getting scared because I had like a scared thing in my voice too. Like I was like Manjab Kuch Patana, like you know what, like, you know, and then she could just tell so she can tell like something was wrong with me, right? So she started getting scared. I was like, I told her, Aapko jhatka lagega, like you're gonna get a shock, right? And then, bro,
oh my God.
I told her all this stuff, bro. I feel bad. I told her all this stuff. And she started crying. Literally, she started crying. Like in the video, she's like, "No, please!" Like she was scared because I thought I was gonna tell her some bad news, and she just can't like handle that, right?
Yeah.
So she started crying already, and then I told her like, so it was just a messed up situation. I told her, but either
you're
way,
not very good at like surprising or pulling pranks on your mom. You gotta stop that.
Bro, literally, I'm not. It's not good at all. So
I see your real life, and then like this YouTube-y side of it, and then combining the two.
It's just conflating, bro. So
I see so much of my mom in her when she's like gets excited or gets sad about things. I know how delicate my mom is. I'm just like, bro, she's going through that same thing.
Yeah.
And you're 100%. Playing with her emotions, Wajeeh.
Yeah, it's bad, dude. This last Mother's Day thing, that was bad too. I don't know. If
that was bad, dude. I'm telling you.
That was bad too. But yeah, I told her I had a decision to make. I was talking it through with her. I was talking it through with my supervising attorneys and all this type of stuff. And they just said, you know what, just take the chance. Go with Duke. It's higher ranked. Even though it's 2 years, you'll be away. Just like suck it up. And then just come back to LA and work in LA. I was like, all right, cool. So then I told her, and then she was obviously sad, but she knows it's only temporary. So it all worked out.
And you're back, right? Like you've been back.
Bro, now I'm back because of COVID. Now I'm probably not even going back. I'm probably not even going back to North Carolina. So thank God I'm not going back to the East Coast, South area.
Yo, stop it.
No,
Much
but at
love
least
to
you
all
get
the East Coast fam. Much love.
The double-edged sword is you get to stay with your parents and stuff,
Yeah,
and still
exactly.
go to Duke.
No, the thing is, like you said, you know, you didn't have that same sort of like upbringing that a lot of other people have, you know, on the West Coast, with Desis around you and stuff. But you definitely have that Desi mentality, and I think you know, that the way that you went into the admissions office and then, you know, even called Duke and was like, yo, I still need to like submit it or whatever. I think that that's something in our culture that, like, you know, all my stories of my dad and how he made it to America and all that, it blows my mind. Like, people are not,
100%.
we're not like that these days.
We're
like,
not.
and constantly
people,
pushing
well, you
the
are.
boundaries.
Yeah. No, we're not, and it sucks because, bro, a lot of kids in our generation, like students, or not, they're literally not like that, and a lot of people not. I feel like even white people more so will probably do it because they have more of a sense of privilege. In terms of minorities and whatnot, we feel like, yo, we're doing someone we feel like a burden to other people. Like, oh no, Hamneko said we can't do it. We feel like a burden because already we're like, you know, it's that thinking like they're superior. We already feel like we're burdening them. But at the end of the day, bro, that's how you got to make things happen. Like, or else it's not gonna happen. If you don't make it happen, how else do you expect it to make it happen? If you don't open that door for yourself, then how do you expect it to go through it? You know what I mean? So it's just little things
They're
like
just
that.
people at the end of the day too.
100%.
And sometimes they don't even, you know, they got the job from Lord knows what, you know.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, seeing as you had some tips on like these career things and you have such a close bond with your mom, do you have any suggestions or tips for people listening about having like a good relationship with your parents, or things that you might do or consider for the listeners?
Yeah. I just think, honestly, at the end of the day, there's always going to be little arguments. There's always going to be little fights. Your mom's going to be mad at you. You're going to be mad at your mom. There's countless amount of times that happens. But at the end of the day, I just feel like it's just being like loving and showing affection and understanding, to be honest. Like, I don't know. I guess it's just kind of how I am, or maybe my mom can attest to it, but it's just like little things like giving your mom, like when you see your mom wake up, like give her a hug, give her a kiss, like little things like that. You just like hug her, kiss her, like things like that. I just feel like can really change a relationship, or just being cool, go with the flow, be easygoing, understanding your mom, your parents, and just like seeing their side of things. Bro, I know you guys are like, how many times like they always think they're right. Like, I kid you not. Like, they think they're always right. It's so bad. I've argued so much. That's why she says, like, oh, you're going to be a lawyer. Because I argue with them so much. But at the end of the day, you just got to love them.
Is your dad, like, really chill? Because it seems like your mom is, like, the, you know.
I'll be honest, my mom is, like, the mom and dad. Because she literally, like, because she's the one who cares about everything. She's the one who's, like, get good grades, do that. My dad, like, he's dope. He's dope. He's just very chill. Like, he's not the type who's gonna like. He's not the type who's gonna call you and be like, "How you doing, son?" Like things like that. Like, he's like brown dads, like my dads. They just don't show that much emotion. Like the way he is, like in the vlogs and videos, bro. That's how he, like, dead ass.
He's always
like,
just chilling. I'm like
chilling.
He's watching TV, drama.
That's literally how he is, bro. That's literally how he is.
That's so
crazy.
Funny.
Especially when there's one like very powerful parent, like the other one kind of takes it back.
She does the work.
My mom's powerful, bro. She's
but
like literally.
A lot of people come up to us like at our shows and stuff, and they'll ask us, you know, like, how do your parents allow you to do this creative field and stuff? So I think kind of along with what Amber was saying, you know, how do you kind of was it difficult to, you know, get that sort of creative field across to your mom and I guess both your parents? I don't know if your dad cares or not, but and balancing that with the law stuff.
No, I think because I was still in school, because I didn't lose focus on what I was trying to do. I feel like that's why they were cool with whatever I was doing. At the end of the day, they knew that I was still like, you know what I mean? They saw that I was still like trying to go to law school. I think it's a more difficult conversation to have when you tell them that I'm dropping out or I'm completely done with school and I'm just going to focus on this. I feel like that's more of a difficult conversation to have. And honestly, it's a hard answer. Like, every parent reacts different. But at the end of the day, you just got to realize, bro, it's like you want to make them happy, but it's your life and you want to make yourself happy. You want to do things that are happy for yourself. So as long as I feel like you can show your parents like there's opportunities in things and there's opportunities in being creative and you can show them that, and I feel like eventually they'll come around the corner.
This is gonna be like such a like hypothetical question, but do you think that if your parents, if you weren't brown and you got into this whole like entertainment stuff, that you still would have gone into law, or do you think that you would have like lost focus and possibly done entertainment?
See, honestly, I think personally, it's just hard for me not to have gone completely still through with law, because that's just what I've always been like. I don't know, just personally, it would have been, I wouldn't have put my eggs all in one basket, but if I came from a background of like being more privileged in terms of like having more, like my mom was a lawyer or dad's a doctor, this and that, or they have a business or whatever it may be, at the end of the day, you feel like you have more of a security net, and you have more of a like, oh, I can try whatever I want to do. I can stop going to this school, or I can stop going to that, because at the end of the day, I'll like work for my dad, or I'll work for my mom, or I'll have them help me figure something else out, or I know that they're good, they're solidified, they're secure, so I don't need to like provide for them. I just got to focus on myself. So yeah, low key, if I was in that situation, which a lot of people that I know, even at SU, like they're just going to school. Their parents already own like a multi-million-dollar business and stuff like that, so they know they're set. They know they're good, even if they don't finish school, right? With me, it's different. Like I know that like I'm the one who's going to eventually have to care for them. So it's just a complete different mindset. So yeah, hypothetically speaking, if I was in that situation, then yeah, but the situation that I'm in and the situation I've been in, like I don't see myself doing that.
Yeah. I was going to ask, do you feel a pressure from like the South Asian or Muslim community, or a sort of responsibility on how you use your platform?
Yeah, I think I would see, I never felt pressure, because I don't think I was ever doing anything wrong or anything bad. Like, have you been criticized? I feel like, yeah, of course you get criticized for probably not speaking up on certain matters, or like little things like that. But honestly, like everything you guys see in the vlogs or videos, or whatever people see, like that's literally like how we are and how we live our lives. So it's like we don't really do like that whole like drinking, like all that type of stuff that everybody else does. Like we're not part of that scene. So that's why I never like promoted anything like that, or I was never in those environments where like I'm showing that to my audience. So that's why I never felt criticized or pressure, because I was never portraying that lifestyle. But if I felt like I probably, like if I was doing that type of stuff, then 100% like you would get more hate. You would get like, like you know how the Haram police is, like that would just come to you left and right. I feel like that's happened, but not to that where I like feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So with your community, you said that you don't have like that many people. You said you didn't really grow up in a community. Is there anything, a bigger community that like that your parents are friends with and stuff, and like do they interact with your stuff?
We had like a community, like a South Asian community growing up, but like they all went to different high schools. They all were like 30 minutes away, like that type of stuff. So it wasn't like immediate, and we weren't seeing them all the time. It was just more like davats that you would have like a couple times a month. So like, yeah, there was a community, but there wasn't that, like it was just surrounded by the people that you went to high school with, and like that community. So it was good that we're able to have some sort of a balance. It wasn't completely just all like not South Asian, but it's good to have a bit of balance.
But like I was gonna ask with them, like, you know, do they ever with you or your parents ever, you know, talk about like the content that you're putting out or anything?
Like other people, like
your friends and stuff.
Do they like deter your parents from it or anything?
Oh yeah, no, they're for sure probably like. I don't think they ever deterred, because it wasn't anything we're doing. Again, we weren't doing anything bad, and they saw that we're still in school. It was more so of just like they would bring it up, like, oh, like whenever we prank our mom, they'll bring it up to my mom, like, oh, I saw that you got pranked, or like, oh, stop slapping Wajeeh so much. That one video where it was like I did the driving with brown moms, that was a skit, right? So that was a skit, and like she kept slapping me, and like I added a sound effect of slapping. So a lot of people bring that up and be like, oh, why do you hit your son so much, this and that. So they'll
Are they
bring
like
that
actually
up with
concerned?
They're not actually. I don't think they're actually concerned. They have a laugh with it. They have fun with it. So
she's a good actress,
bro. I'm telling you, she belongs in dramas like Pakistani dramas or whatever Bollywood movies. Like she kills it. She's natural. She's natural.
Yeah. What do you think is next for you? You know, you do the law school thing. Is there a chance that, you know, if your creative endeavors, your YouTube career, whatever it may be at the time, takes off, that you would ever leave that thing?
That's hard. Honestly, I always thought the only way I feel like
Wajeeh gets a Hollywood role. What is Mamaji gonna say?
Dude, I would take it. No, so here's the thing. Like, oh yeah, I would take it, but I don't think that I've never been in a situation where I've completely left law school or like that career to fully focus on YouTube. And I personally feel myself that if I were to like dedicate 110% to YouTube, I honestly feel like I'll be killing it. I honestly feel like that's just how I feel like, because I know I would be putting in hella work, right? So like if I were to dedicate 110 to 120% of my time in just solely creating content and just being creative and YouTube and all these types of platforms, I know I'll be able to grow it so much more than what it is now. But because I haven't given it that time, like it's just like, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if I would be able to like completely drop like first of all, I don't even know if it'll be able to blow up to a point because you need to give it time. It's not gonna blow up if you don't give it that time, right?
Sure.
But I don't think I'll be able to. If it does, honestly, it's just I feel like whatever you're happy with. Like for me, YouTube was having fun, so I was just still having fun. I'm still
like
having
you're content
fun
with the balance of both
content.
of them.
I'm content, but bro, honestly, you get caught up. Maybe you guys can relate too, but you also get caught up in trying to create bangers or try and create viral shit or try and create stuff that will do numbers. Like you get caught up in that stuff. Like you get caught up in it, and it's annoying. It's low-key hella annoying. Like you just, oh, let me just create the next viral thing, or let me just do this, let me do that. It's like I get caught up in it all the time, right? But it's like at the end of the day, bro, if you have fun, the content will speak for itself. And I feel like what you guys are doing and what you guys have been doing, like you guys have fun with it. You guys are having a dope time. You guys, I don't know, you guys, have there been arguments? Like, do you guys ever like argue when you guys are working as a unit? Does that come up? Like, yeah.
No, I mean,
too.
Not arguments. I mean, we definitely have like disagreements
creative
and stuff,
differences sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would say we're all pretty level-headed.
Yeah.
Okay.
we definitely have fun
Gotcha.
with it. But I think like, you know, as you get older, you definitely also want to consider, you know, turning these things into a business and creating some sort of like multiple streams of revenue.
100%.
And you know, like you can't just have fun, you know, all your life and not consider those things, especially if you want to, you know, grow it in such a way, and especially in America, like it pays to have the
100%.
your own business and own your own things and everything. So, you know, even if it's with you, eventually, if you're wanting to own your own like law firm or something, like that's the direction that anybody would want to go.
Yeah. So maybe so I probably came off a little wrong. So yeah, have fun with it, but obviously I also look at it as an opportunity to set something up. Like this whole YouTube thing, like I'm still doing it because one, I'm having fun with it and I like to do it, but also second, obviously you see it as like a platform to bounce into something else, like a business opportunity, like you said. So of course, like I see it as both, but you can't, a lot of people, see, here's the thing that I just have like a grit with. A lot of people will start it for the sole purpose of thinking that they're gonna blow up, or for the sole purpose of thinking that, oh, I'm gonna be this, or it's gonna become this. Like that's dope to think about that, but if you're doing it for that sole purpose to try and make money off of it, then don't do it. Like
It's also
that's
I don't think
like.
I don't think it'll last that long. Like especially when it comes to music and stuff. Like I see these guys and they like, if they weren't passionate about what they make or excited about like what they write, like you should see their faces like when they come up with something like, oh yeah, it's fire and this and that. Like they have to be in it to like want to continue doing it.
Exactly.
And I mean, I think that we've all kind of like agreed that it just allows you to have bigger opportunities outside the platform too. So it kind of serves as a purpose of both, I think.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you gotta like you gotta come in with the idea of like I'm gonna have fun with it, but also put in that work to realize like I can make this into something. But don't go in with that sole purpose of, oh, I'm gonna just try and make money. Like I just feel like there's a disconnect with those.
I think
two
that
things.
I think working with people who like aren't like clout chasers.
Yeah, exactly.
If you go into it with the clout chasing mentality, it's not going to work out for you.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I think also the cool thing what you're doing is like having the 2 YouTube channel and also doing law, like being an entertainment law. Like the future, you know, TikTok brown kid will be like, hey, Wajeeh's an entertainment lawyer. Like I've been watching him for years. I can, you know, go to him. And
Exactly.
Something.
Yeah.
Right.
What else is interesting is that there's a lot of people, like I do a lot of media freelancing on the side, and there's a lot of people that own firms, whether it be, you know, taxes, law, whatever it might be, and they come to me and say, hey, I'm trying to start a podcast now, or I'm trying to make this commercial now, or I'm trying to have this web series. Can you help me set that up?
Yeah.
And for you, there is an opportunity in growing some sort of business where you're giving, you know, lectures or tips or whatever in a media form, but you already know how to do that. You already have an audience. And plus, I've read that on YouTube, like those guys, whether they might be pyramid schemers or whatever, they make a lot of money because the advertisers are all like, you know, academic related or they're like corporate, you know, in the corporate world. Is that something that you would consider doing?
Bro, I've already considered it. Like, I've had like a whole plan of like this is what like what you said, like creating like a whole platform for that, like a mentorship plan or whatever it is, right? Like, I've had all these opportunities and ideas, but there's just not enough time to implement it. And it's just like, that's where I'm having that frustration, because bro, it's like when you're in school, it's just like, I just can't put in so much effort into, you know what I mean? It's just like, I have all these ideas, like I want to be able to give all this advice and learning that I've done along the way, and like all these failures and whatever obstacles that I got hit all the way, and like be able to share that with people that like us or like me.
It's already part of your brand though.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's like, it's almost like Gary Vee, where Gary, you know, although he's giving out so much knowledge, it's on the way for him. Like, he's going to a meeting. I don't know how realistic it is or not, but from what we see, he's on his way to a meeting, and midway he stops and spits free game to this kid who's like, hey, Gary Vee, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. So for you, that might be like, we all know that you're in, you know, law school, you're doing this thing. Maybe you get these questions here and there, and it's adding to your brand.
And not only that, like,
Gary Vee has a whole team behind him though. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's where it's a difficult process. It's like when it's a one man show, bro. You go out, you do that stuff, you spit game, this and that. You got to think about, okay, I also got to film this. Okay, now I'm gonna come back and edit it. Okay, now I'm gonna come back and post it. If I was straight up just spitting and just like whatever it is, like right now or whatever it may be, it's so much easier because I don't have to worry about the whole, like, you know what I mean, the whole process of putting it up.
Why do you West interns?
Is that a process you might look into in the future?
100%. Like I've always like what you said. I've already had ideas of wanting to do that type of stuff and like help others through the process. But it's like I feel like you need a team behind your back, or you just need like what you said, interns or someone to help you along the way to like, because if you don't have the time, then you gotta like hire someone or find interns to help you through that process.
I think especially like when you graduate law school too, and you're like in that field, and especially when you have like that type of wisdom to go to as well. Like if you were to do some sort of like a talk show on your channel or like podcast or mentorship or something, like I listen to like 6 different lawyers on a weekly basis through podcasts, and I'm not in law school. Like,
that's crazy.
Like, but
Amber's
I have
a felon.
I hardcore enjoy like consuming like knowledge through podcasts, so like that's just whatever they have to give up. So you'll be able to have the opportunity and at least that option later down the line, and the skills to be able to like fully do it.
See, like I tried doing the whole podcasting, but I put out one episode, bro.
It was a good one. That was the one you posted on?
And like that took so much time and work and effort.
You bought the mic and everything,
bro. That's what I bought this for. So like I use it like, literally. That's what I bought this mic for. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ham with this, right? But then life catches up to you, and it's just like I try and make time. You should have a podcast
with your mom.
Ooh,
imagine
that would be so.
Ciao with Mama G.
That would be really good.
Low key.
Chai and biscuit with Mama G.
See, I gotta get advice from you guys and help on how to set all that stuff up, because you guys have already done it. You know what I mean? So y'all gotta help me.
We'll help you with whatever you need. We're also just, you know, rolling the dice every day. You know, I think all of us are, but it's incredible to see. You know, even though you attempted it, you knew what you wanted to do. It still came off authentic, because you weren't like, all right, I need to have this format that podcasters usually have and this and that. You just did what you do, which is like talk to your audience the way that they know you, and the way that, you know, you have this language, this mutual language at this point. You created your own terminology and your own mottos and everything, and that's what it's about. It's like, okay, I have this following. How do I, you know, take it to the next level? How do I, you know, grow it? And you know, I want to know, like, what is next for you personally, or like that people can look forward to. What are you looking forward to?
So man, I've been working on like a lot of things, but it's just like fully executing it. Like if you guys see my phone in terms of all the ideas that I have written down of all the things that I've been working on, like there's a lot of things, but it's just like fully executing. That's what I've been having trouble with. But basically a couple of things that are like on the horizon, what you talked about of having this sort of platform, like the podcasting that I started, the whole flip the switch thing, like that's something that I want to grow out fully, and that's something that I want to help others through. So that's one thing that I've been working on.
But I've been working on that yet?
I was gonna say that was literally my question. Like, do you have merch for that?
I haven't sold. I didn't set up any merch yet. I just haven't done any of that type of stuff. Like I just.
You want to though, right?
That would be
I
fire.
want to do it all. I want to do it all. Like, there's so many ideas I want to do. Like, bro, even like this is low key, but I'm even working on like I created like this own like water drink type thing that like kind of helped me through my like that was like through my studies because I was like
water
I was
drink.
no, so like I'm the type that this is exclusive stuff, but I'm the type that like I don't like drinking coffee. I can't do it. I don't drink coffee, right? That just messes up my stomach and gotta go to the bathroom multiple times, right? I don't drink coffee. I'm not the type who wakes up drinks coffee. Also, I'm not the type that wants to like drink those like all those like sugar stuff drinks, chemical energy, like all those energy drinks and this. I don't type to do that. So like I was like, you know what? Let me just try and figure something. Let me find something out. So I got presented with this opportunity. I created something, bro, for like the past year and a half that I've been working on.
Are you trying to be a lawyer or a chemist? What's happening?
Exactly, bro. Like literally, like right. It's like it's my entrepreneur spirit. So I created like a whole like energy based water drink type thing, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I've been using that, and it's just like all this type of stuff like that I have.
It works.
Well, bro, like that's what I've been using. That's what I've been doing. So it's like things like that.
You gotta
it's like,
say it too.
Exactly, right? But it's just like I have all this type of stuff that I've been waiting to launch, waiting to do like you said, the whole podcasting. This is the little business venture that I'm working on. Merch, always wanted to do that. It's
You
just
should
bro.
pass on to your sister to help you, kind of.
Man, my sister's I don't she can't even she can barely film for me. Like it's bad. Like she can barely film for me. It is
Isn't
bad.
that the worst when you tell your siblings to like do
God.
something and then it's just like not
So
the way you
hard.
wanted?
Bro, when I'm filming a skit with Mama G too, like she thinks that I'm like Sanjay Leelam Bisali, which is like a crazy director. So she just calls me that because bro, when I get into it, man, y'all should see I get little like low-key, I get too into it. And I don't scream, but I just like you know, like I don't scream, but it's like you get irritated.
You get
I have an
annoyed.
annoying voice. Yeah, I get so annoyed. I'm like, Mama,
Yeah.
no, I should do it like this, do it
Yeah.
like that. Like, Mom, you're being too extra, being over the top. Like, Mom, do this, do that. Like, and then, bro, when I'm filming them, it's completely fine because I'm filming them, right? But then when it's scene now it's my turn to my scene, right? Now I gotta be in it, right? It's my scene. Literally, bro, I scream at my sister because she can't film properly. My mom's not gonna touch the camera, but I get my sister. If I even get her down here to tell you guys, bro, she dreads it when I say, "Oh, I want to film something." She's like, "I don't," because she knows I'm gonna start screaming at her, and I
Yeah.
feel bad, but like she hates it because she knows that I'm gonna start screaming. And I'm like,
If
and
my
I start
little
going
brother
off at her. I start going off. I'm like, you don't know how to do this. Like, you have no hobby. Like, you like,
Yeah.
I then start going off. I'm like, how do you not know how to freaking work a camera? Like, look, like, dude, I start going off, bro. I feel bad.
If my brother was here, he would be like, I want to talk to your sister so I have somebody to, you know, have some therapy with, because I do the same thing to him. It's so funny.
Y'all know
Man.
the struggle, man. It's crazy.
Dude, you're incredible, and I'm so excited for, like, it's getting me excited hearing you talk about all this stuff, because I know that, you know, with your mentality, there's only so many people out there that actually, you know, will act on these things and not just like talk about it. And you told us a lot about the things that worked out for you because of, you know, your will to go and chase whatever it is that you wanted. Where can everybody find you?
So I mean, I'm always mainly on all the social media platforms, but you're talking about like where to find me in terms of my content.
Your house address.
Yeah, right. Shit, let me just tell you right now. So, but no, on Instagram, Wajeeh, Twitter, low key, I stopped using that. I don't know, stop using it. It's mainly Instagram now. TikTok, bro. TikTok's going off. TikTok's popping off, and then YouTube here and there, but mainly probably Instagram.
Anything you want to leave the people with before we ask you our last question?
Oh, now I'm a little curious about this last question. You probably, okay. Nothing, man. Honestly, whoever's listening to this, I just hope that you guys took little nuggets of advice, whatever it may be, whoever's watching, and just make stuff happen. Like, don't stop. Like, if you hit a roadblock, like even through my life stories or my struggles or whatever it may be, you hit a roadblock, just find another route. It'll all work out. Don't stop if the first time it doesn't work out. That's all I got to do. I flip the switch.
Bars.
That's awesome, man. Okay, so at the end of every podcast, this is Strange Flavor, so we ask the guests one last question. Sha-Ameer, if you want to take that away.
If you could describe yourself in any flavor, what would it be and why?
Oh, damn. Any flavor?
Yeah,
So
and
we're
you
desi,
gotta,
you know what I'm
you gotta
saying?
say why.
So we're desi, you know. Okay, so spicy. I'm spicy, you know. Like, like I just want to add a little spice to your life. I think that was my that was one of my Instagram captions. I think anybody wants to use that next Instagram caption. Let me add a little spice to your life and put it like a little emoji. But I would say some flavor was spicy because Like I said, yeah, literally like the type of person that I am, bro. Like, even though I can be going through like stressful times, I can be down or whatnot. At the end of the day, we're human. We can feel that way. But I just feel like I've, alhamdulillah, been able to cope well with those type of stress, with whatever downfalls, and just keep it pushing and keep smiling and being happy. And I feel like that's how people should go about their lives and just be happy and make others happy at the same time. So I just want to add a little spice to you guys' life.
Add
That's
a little
about it.
spice to your
Wow.
life.
Yeah.
Although
Fire.
your sister would say the spice is probably, you know, that
much.
red
Too much.
character. You know that red
Yeah.
character from Inside Out, the angry one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
She
extra
would
Do you
say
like
that
chili, Millie?
that's the spice.
chili meat is good, but I haven't had it in so long. Like literally, I haven't had it
Sorry,
in
you
so
said
long.
spice. I had to ask.
Yeah, of course.
I love
But
chili.
what's if you don't guys, what's your guys' flavors? If you guys don't mind me asking, has any of the
Oh.
guests asked you guys your flavors?
We did it like way before because
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
started the podcast, like we went
Can
over
you,
it.
can you refresh? Maybe it's changed over the time. Let's refresh a little. I want to hear. You guys'
I stick
flavors.
to I stick to mine. Mine's mint chocolate chip. I chose mint chocolate chip because first of all I'm a chocoholic, but chocolate is
I
the
love
root
chocolate.
and it's embedded in there, and I never forget my roots, and I hope I never will, inshallah. But the mint because I like being spontaneous and fresh with
Hey.
things. So always learning, always growing, but never forget where I came from.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine was orange starburst. No matter
Oh, okay.
what, if dark, light, I always like to stay positive and try to stay positive.
Hey, lit.
Little
Okay.
burst of energy. Mine
Burst.
was sprinkle because I like to add a little sprinkle everywhere I go.
Hey, nice. Okay, no chaat masala, no none of that type of stuff. I'm chaat masala.
That'd be awesome. Hey Wajeeh, thank you so much for being
Thank
on
you.
here, man.
Appreciate
We learned
you
so
guys,
much
man.
from you. I hope that everybody will benefit from this. And honestly,
Inshallah.
we're proud of you. I know
Thank you,
this is
man.
our first time meeting, but it's so
Yeah,
incredible seeing the journey you've been on, and
Yes.
we hope that everybody's able to benefit from everything that you
Yeah.
said.
Keep rocking, man. These guys, whoever's listening, these guys are creative as heck. Follow them, bro. You guys are honestly, man. You guys are coming on my TikToks, all this type of stuff, or even Instagram. Like you guys in the music videos. I'm sorry, man. I talk a lot, but here's the thing, man. A lot of times, bro, within our community and within Brown community, bro, whoever's editing this shit, I'm sorry.
That's all good. It
You're
goes up
good.
just like
You're
this.
good.
It goes
You're
up just
good.
like this.
You're good.
Okay, that's all right, lit. So,
Get it
bro, so like a lot of times, man, we always, even especially within our communities, we always want to see other people like put themselves down, right? We always put others down, like, oh, like you're trying to be better than the other person, you're trying to be better than the next person. Even with our parents, try to compare them with this person. So like, I feel like even that's gotten into my head a couple times, seeing content creators and like wanting to be better. But at the end of the day, man, like especially if it's your own people, you should be happy for them, want to see them strive, be successful. So I just wish nothing but the success and happiness for you guys, and inshallah,
Damn.
you guys.
Thank you
Have
so
fun.
much.
Word, man.
Thank you
I'm
so
so
much,
glad
man.
you
I
said that. That
appreciate
was so
it.
important.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
it's absolutely necessary that we support each other and uplift each other.
Yeah.
We're not competing with one another. We're
Exactly.
trying to get to the same places as everybody else. So
Yeah.
thank you for being an awesome example for that
course,
too.
bro. Of course.
For everybody listening, thank you for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another flavor.
A little less stranger.
We'll talk to you next time.
Can I say something? You are, y'all. Stay blessed. Take it easy. Much love.
So hear my words, I'm with the birds, I'm with the birds, watching them fly now. I'm with the birds, I'm with the birds, I'm in the sky now. I'm with the birds, feeling real high now.